this is day 6 of Coleman Hawkins twists and turns, I think. No, we took 2 days off over the weekend. But over the weekend, that's when news developed. He was at Kansas State this weekend, including a very funny back and forth with Hunter Dickinson and Tyler Perry over the weekend. And then now his agent, Nate Conley, tells people that he will be visiting SMU and LSU, or is in the process of setting up visits to both SMU and LSU. This is the first time we've heard LSU with Coleman Hawkins for his list. Do you like the potential of Coleman to LSU? Is that a school that you believe should be after Coleman Hawkins?
No. What is this? I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of NIT teams contacting Coleman. Where's Hubert Davis? What are we doing here? Where's Hubie? Go get my guy.
I still think Hubert might be working behind the scenes on this. We'll see. LSU at least is they've had good seasons. I kind of believe in Matt McMahon. Good football school. Coleman wanted that. I'm okay with this.
When was the last time LSU basketball was good?
3 years ago.
Right. 3 years ago. Not with Matt McMahon at the helm. Since then they stunk it up.
All right. Does Coleman just really want to wear purple? Is that all this is?
Does LSU still have Will Baker?
Move on from this.
I'm in if that's the case. That's the only reason. That's the only way you're going to get me in, if you give me a Will Baker, Coleman Hawkins front court.
It would be really fun. It would be really fun. Yeah. So, okay. He was at Kansas State. Let's talk through the Twitter drama a little bit, because Hunter Dickinson basically quote tweets that Coleman is visiting Kansas State and says the real school is an hour and a half away. And we love a good rivalry. We love a good Kansas State. Coleman Hawkins and Hunter Dickinson have quite the history, if anyone is unfamiliar with this, now that it's made its way to the Big 12 here. Coleman and Hunter, I think you would agree it's fair. Coleman and Hunter have been the villains of Big Ten basketball since they've been in school. And Hunter was no stranger to trying to goat people into responses. Coleman the same way, both very active online. And I think maybe these two would dispute this. These two didn't like each other very much when they were at Michigan and Illinois, mostly because Coleman Hawkins never lost to Hunter Dickinson. His teams always smacked around the Michigan teams. That's where the Daddy Brad nickname originated from. I referred to him as my father because I could never beat them. Coleman got the better of Hunter consistently, even to the exhibition last year when he got to Kansas and they played Illinois in an exhibition game. Kansas was preseason number 2, and Illinois beats them in the exhibition game. So kind of funny to see them going back and forth a little bit. Did you read that Hunter Dickinson comment as hey, maybe you want to visit Manhattan? Or, he's going to Manhattan. Maybe you want to visit Lawrence.
No, I didn't read it as such. I just read it as Hunter capitalizing on an opportunity to poke a little Twitter fun, which he's been not as active on Twitter as I like, to be honest with you. I'm a big advocate of Hunter being active on Twitter and via DMs if he checks those. I think it's good for the sport. I think he was just kind of poking fun. I don't think it was anything like, oh, come over to Lawrence. He did the same thing with Jeremy Roach.
Kansas keeps recruiting spots, though. I think Bill Self just keeps recruiting guys,
Yeah, he does. If they're wings and guards, I don't think he's been active on any big recruitments.
What do you think Bill Self's reaction was to Hunter's tweet? Is he annoyed by this? Is he excited by this?
No, you got to let Hunt.
Got to let Hunt.
No pun intended.
So then Tyler Perry, former Kansas State point guard, who was the Marquise Noel replacement this past year. He was okay. He had an okay year. He was not good enough. That's why Kansas State didn't win a lot of games. But his numbers individually were okay. He goes back and forth with Hunter and basically says this man was a Naquan Tomlin away from being swept, because Kansas State was missing some players when they lost to Kansas. They split in the regular season. And what did Hunter's response say?
Something along the lines of, I think more of the issue was the fact that you only had 2 points in that game. Classic.
That's why you don't step in the ring with Hunter unless you're ready to go toe-to-toe with Hunter. And Tyler Perry's not.
Yeah, that was the classic when there's a one-on-one joke battle going in a group of 5 or 6 friends, and that one friend laughs a little bit too loud, and then it shifts to him like, wait a minute, why are you laughing so loud? That's kind of where that went. And just know if you're going to throw a jab at Hunter, there will be jabs, return jabs thrown back. And 9 times out of 10, Hunt's going to get the last jab.
Yeah, Hunt's a pro at this. He might not be a pro at all basketball related things, but he's a pro at this. And you don't want to play the pros game if you're not a pro at this. Tyler Perry's not a pro at this. You know who is a pro at this? Coleman Hawkins. He's a pro at this. And Cart, one big change has happened over the weekend for me with the entire Coleman Hawkins decision conversation. I've talked myself into it. I want Kansas State, and I want to be fully on the Kansas State bandwagon. I think they might be really good if he goes there.
You're not allowed. I'm already on it.
Yes, I am.
I'm on it. I'm on it, and I have a say whether you get on or not.
I am the only human being on earth that currently owns both a Coleman Hawkins jersey and a Doug McDaniel jersey. I am fully entitled to this.
If you couldn't be down with the Cats, I think they do this. If you couldn't be down with us when we just had Doug and a chore, you don't get to have us at Doug and Coleman.
That's not true. I get to do whatever I want. I get to go where Coleman goes.
Okay, that's fine. Just know you weren't there. You weren't there, and you weren't there in the nitty gritty when it was a little bit tough. Now it gets a little bit fun. There's a couple Twitter jabs. Now you want to be a part of the Wildcat crew? No.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly that. Hey, do you own a Kansas State home field shirt? Because I do. Do you own a Doug McDaniel jersey? Because I do. Do you own a Coleman Hawkins jersey? Because I do. Did you make a Jerome Tang clapping Natasha Bedingfield unwritten video? Because I did. And that will be tweeted out the moment that Coleman Hawkins signs to Kansas State.
I got a heart. I got an organ that's been in this Kansas State nitty gritty from the beginning. So you keep your little jersey and your little home field and your little clapping.
Here's the truth. If Coleman goes to Kansas State, it's either going to be spectacular and they're a top 20 team in the country, and maybe Doug and Coleman become the new Marquise Noel, Keontae Johnson. But there's also a 25% chance that it's a complete disaster, like a total implosion.
But the chance that it's not, what's the famous city that's in, or the famous town or city in the state of New York that's like Showtime, like showbiz? It's not Manhattan, is it?
Are you talking like Broadway?
But there's a city that is like,
it's not a town.
No, there's a city that is like known. Like what city is Broadway in?
New York? Where are you going with this? Manhattan?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Showtime is Manhattan.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it's gonna be the real Manhattan.
Are you trying to burrow me right now? Or are you trying to Long Island?
Somewhat. I thought I'd been in New York enough times to make this happen. Borzello's gonna hear this and be devastated. But like
about 20 seconds from asking for Coleman Hawkins the Aki way right now. I'm like, Jesus.
Wait, nah, that's fire. We need that.
Yeah. I'm happy for him. It seems like more schools are interested. That's what I wanted. I wish they were still higher pedigree programs or better win now programs right now. LSU, I think, would be an okay fit. If it's SMU, go get the bag. I'll support it. But I have talked myself into Kansas State working, and I still think there's going to be an unnamed school here that we haven't heard yet that he visits that maybe scoops him up. I think a team's going to talk themselves into Coleman this week.
Can you get in your prediction bag? It's been a while since you have made a prediction that just like comes out of nowhere and hits like you usually do. Can I get one? Can I get an off the wall one for this?
I still think Carolina's going to like talk themselves into it. Riley has reported privately to me that they're reaching back out to big men.
Okay. Huh. It's not enough for me, but okay.
If I have to do Hubert Davis's job for him, I will. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to do at this point, but
I may or may not have checked to see if Hubert Davis has an official Twitter so that I can make a Twitter name like @Hubie Davis and be like, Hunt, just show up to campus. And then like he shows up and they're like, oh, well, I didn't contact you. I'm just like, I'm doing the work for them.
If Coleman goes to Kansas State and Hunter Dickinson is at Kansas and they play twice next season, how do those games go?
Kansas State goes 2-0. Sometimes you can't break something, man. Sometimes it just is what it is.
Is that your voodoo belief? Like Hunter just cannot beat Coleman Hawkins.
He just It's like me playing you in golf or me playing you in like ping pong or something. I can't. You own me.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm sorry, Coleman and family. I love you guys. You know I do. I've talked myself into Kansas State. I have. Coleman Hawkins is not the one who owned Hunter Dickinson.
Brad owned Hunter Dickinson.
Brad owned Hunter Dickinson. Coleman Hawkins was a part of Brad's team and program and system, and everyone reaped the benefits of that. If this Kansas team plays that Kansas State team with Coleman twice, Kansas wins by 20 both games.
Oh, I need to look something up. Very, very. What do you think Jerome Tane's record versus Bill Self is?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's
I
probably
really,
better than you think.
I really hope this just comes up right away.
I think,
Jerome Tang has a winning record versus Bill Self.
wow. How many of those games went to overtime?
You know what? You can't. You're asking a lot of me. The fact that I was able to whip this up right away is massive. You're getting greedy.
You're right, it is. For the 6th consecutive weekday, good luck, Coleman Hawkins. We're rooting for you. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.